Last night, I heard myself screaming from the basement. A place I've never stepped foot in the first time I heard it. I thought it was a bad dream. A scream so raw and tortured that it vibrated in my bones. It echoed from the basement, a place I'd never entered, not even once since moving in. The voice was familiar. Too familiar. I brushed it off, thinking maybe I'd been sleepwalking or had the TV on. But it happened again the next night. Same time, 2:13 a.m. Same agonized scream. By the third night, I recorded it. Listening back chilled me to my core. It was my voice, unmistakably. Same tone, same inflections. Only, I wasn't screaming. I was upstairs. Awake. Alone. My rational brain struggled. I uploaded the audio to a forum for sound engineers and paranormal experts, asking if the sound could have been faked or manipulated. Replies came flooding in. "That's you," one user wrote. "The waveform matches your natural speaking voice." Another message privately. "Get out of that house. Now." I saw a psychiatrist, desperate for a sane explanation. Was it stress? Schizophrenia? Sleep paralysis? She gave me medication. The screams continued. Louder. Clearer. More desperate. I started sleeping with my bedroom door locked and headphones in, but I still heard it, vibrating in my skull, like it was coming from inside my own mind. Then came the change. It was the 8th night when I heard something different. Not just a scream this time. A voice. Mine. Pleading. "Please, let me out. It's so dark. I'm still down here. Please, help me." The words were broken, rasping, but unmistakable. I stopped breathing. Every hair on my body stood up. I replayed the audio over and over. It wasn't a recording. It was live. It was now. That night, I sat at the top of the basement stairs, clutching the recorder, listening to myself beg from below. A version of me I didn't know. Or maybe one I had forgotten. Something shifted in my reality. Like I wasn't just living in the house. Like someone else had always been living beneath it. And for the first time, I wondered what that scream wasn't coming from a ghost or a demon. I never wanted to touch that basement door. When I first moved in, the realtor told me it was sealed shut decades ago due to flooding. The wood was warped, the lock rusted over, and a heavy bolt sat across it like someone had tried to keep something inside. I told myself it was just a weird old house with weird old secrets. But after nights of hearing my own voice scream from beneath it, that door became an obsession. I started to notice things. Long, thin scratches, deep and deliberate, began appearing around the frame, as though someone with broken fingernails had tried to claw their way out. Dust patterns on the hallway floor shifted subtly every morning, forming shapes that looked like footprints dragging away from the basement, then vanishing halfway across the living room. I vacuumed twice a day. The marks came back. One morning, the doorknob was warm to the touch. Not room temperature, warm, like skin. I flinched and yanked my hand back. The screaming the night before had lasted 7 full minutes, and the voice, my voice, had sobbed something unintelligible near the end. I hadn't slept since. I called a locksmith. He inspected the door, poked around, and gave me a strange look. "This isn't locked," he said. "The bolt's jammed, but there's nothing keeping it shut from this side. It's wedged like something's pushing against it." He left in a hurry. I tried myself, yanking, pulling, kicking, but the door refused to budge. Until one night, it simply opened. No creak, no dramatic bang. Just open. I woke at 2:13 a.m., the house dead silent. No scream, no cry. I stepped out of bed and immediately felt it. The house wasn't right. The hallway light flickered like it always did, but the air was heavy. I turned the corner. The basement door stood wide open. Shadows spilled from it like liquid ink, curling around the edges of the frame. A foul, earthy smell drifted up the staircase, like mold and something rotting. But there was no scream, no sound, just silence, the kind of silence that listens back. I stood there, frozen. Whatever was behind that door had finally stopped screaming. Because it had opened way out, I stepped into the basement, expecting darkness. But what greeted me was worse. A flickering, pulsing gray light, like static pressed against my eyes. The air shifted as though I'd stepped underwater. The walls were wrong, slanted, moving slightly, like they were breathing. I took one step down, and the door slammed shut behind me. I wasn't in a basement. I was in somewhere else. The floor stretched far beyond the size of my house. Cold stone, wet patches, whispers crawling from every direction. And then mirrors, dozens, hung in midair, cracked and humming. Each one showing fragments of me, not how I was, but how I could have been, sick, aged, crying, screaming. In one, I was bleeding from the eyes. In another, I was chained. Every reflection moved, even when I didn't. That's when I saw him. He stepped out from behind one of the mirrors. At first, I thought it was just another reflection, but then he looked at me directly and smiled. My smile, but hollow, wrong. "I screamed for you," he said in my voice, broken and hoarse. "For years." His skin was pale, his hands trembling. His eyes were wild and sunken. A man who hadn't seen light in ages. He stepped closer. I don't remember how I got here. I just remember waking up in this place. The more I screamed, the more the house forgot me. Then you moved in. I couldn't speak. Couldn't move. "I'm the first," he whispered. "Or maybe the second. It doesn't matter. You heard me, didn't you? You came." He grinned wider now. "So now you stay." I backed up. He advanced. The basement twisted, mirrors warping, reality unraveling. I stumbled, fell, and landed in front of a mirror that showed the house above me, standing at the kitchen sink. Only it wasn't me anymore. It was him, the thing with my face, wearing my life. He turned to the mirror and winked at me. Then he left, up the stairs, and I felt the trap snap shut. Now I scream every night at 2:13 a.m. My voice, my pain, my prison, hoping someone hears me, someone who looks just like me, someone who hasn't opened the door yet. What if it was really me?